Hey everyone, it's KOW with more Islands of Insight. A good familiar home for me to play video game. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a good angle on this one without falling off. Hold on. No! Wait, what's this music? This music isn't for this area. This goes right through the black ring, so no. Yeah, this appeared in an area we can't reach. Whatever. Let's get these lost grids since I'm in the area. There's only one here? There's definitely more than one left. All dark regions have area 4. No two dark areas have same shape or size. So we're going to need 4 dark areas in 4 different positions. So we got our T, I, O, L, and S pieces we got to worry about. So this is already settled for us. We can only have one here, so we can't have the I piece. It has to be the L. That means in here, we can't have the O piece anywhere. Actually, no O piece because these ones will prevent us from making it. So we need a T and an S. So here is got to be the S, and here's got to be the T. And there we go. So I think it's because down here are some more puzzles. So let's take a look at these and see if I can't clear them all out. What the heck? No squares of any kind connect all cells of all kinds. So these are going to have to connect because the edge sort of rule. This has to at least come out this far. No squares does mean this. Actually, hold on. No squares means I have to take these out, which means the white cells have to go all the way around this edge. No squares. No squares. Oops. No squares. No checkerboards because these two rules imply no checkerboards. This is gonna have to happen here. That's gotta be a dark cell, so now we have white cells here and there, and that's it. Let's do a 2-star puzzle, why not? Tiles remaining. Oh good, it's underclued. Why not just make it a full puzzle here? What's the point when I do most of the puzzle anyway? So we connect all dark cells, meaning this is going to happen for sure. All of that. Only 2 white cells can be in this entire lane. Because they're symmetrical, they got to be in the same spot. In fact, because this is symmetrical, I have to make sure. So this thing here, we got 2 cells to the right, we only have 1 cell to the left. So we actually have to fill in both of these. This has to be a dark cell. This has to be a light cell. This will also be a dark cell. This will also be a dark cell, and that'll be a dark cell. So we can have 5 light cells here, which means only 1 dark cell moving in this direction. Let's see. 2 light cells this way. Light cells don't have to connect to anything, so I'm not too worried about that. This is going to have to connect. It's possible for both of these to be light cells, or we can put one here. Got to put 2 up this way, so 2 are here. Only 2 up here, so 1 on each side. Alright, what can I glean from this? If we had this as the dark cell, then we'd have to make all of these the dark cell, because we'd need all of these to be white, which means there's no room for 2, because we'd have to do it on the same side. So this has to be a light cell as well. If this were the dark cell, we would be able to do this. This could be. But let's say this was the dark cell. We could still do something like this. So all I know is this has to be light. For now. If I made this... This is still possible. Like if I made this the dark cell, we can just do one of these and then put a light cell here. I'm trying to think. We need 2 cells. I can get 30 more tiles from this. Let's see. Where can I get them? Putting 2 more, putting 2 here. Let's think. If I had these as the 2 light cells, right? These are our light cells. we would need this to happen. And then we still don't know where, but it could be this because we can come through the bottom, right? Like this is a possible thing we could do. What if we decided these were our light cells? Doing this, we're in trouble because we need 2 sets. So this must be a light cell, and that's going to fill in the rest of these. Let's see. Now the question is this a light cell or is this a light cell? Now if we do it this way, we have a problem. So it is in fact light cells like so. Now, where do we come through? We could block here. No, we can't. No, yeah, we can. We can block here. We can block here. And we can just pull something through this, or we could cut through and block all of these. If we have 2. Well, let's suppose if we did this, if we put a dark cell here, we'd have to put 2 light cells. But that would mean that here is where the dark cell goes and 2 light cells, which is going to be a problem. Because now how are we going to connect things? Therefore, this has to be one of the light cells. Now the question is the last one here or there? Now if it was on top, this is what we do. And look, we need 2 dark cells here. Therefore, that's the other light cell, which is going to fill half of what this one's looking for. This needs to connect. Not worried about squares, so we could have a dark square there, or light. Well, if we put a light cell here, right, to put one there, like here, it's asymmetrical. We can't have that, so it does have to be these 2, making these dark cells. So that handles all of these. Now over here we need only 1 light cell. If we were to put that light cell here, we're in trouble because now, so think of it on this side, we would need to bring this down and we'd need to bring this down. So that's a dark cell. Meaning if this is a light cell, we have a trapped dark cell. So it is in fact like that. And that's all apparently we can figure out. Great. I would have loved to finish that puzzle because I was getting invested in the puzzle for its own sake and not the underclude part of it. And now we don't get to finish it because it's a stupid fucking underclude puzzle. Okay. Exactly 1 symbol per dark area and 1 per light area. Now we already know that galaxies can't be shared with other galaxies, so what this rule is telling us is that we just can't have any unincorporated land here. How would I make this happen? How would I know which one these are? Whatever symbol this is, the other ones are all the opposite color. So if I made this dark, we'd have light cell, which would do this, which would also do this, and that. Is this acceptable to you? I don't know. What if I made this light? I made these dark. I would still have to make this. I'd still have to do this, but now this is possible. This would have to be dark. But then what is this going to connect to? Yeah, I guess the question is, how do I know what color any of these other ones are to start with? Like, if I start by doing this, obviously I have set myself up here, right? And by doing so, right, we've done this. But that's an assumption. We don't know if this piece actually goes out. I mean, it'd be nice if it did because we want some galaxy to take over a lot of space, but I don't know which one it's going to be. It would force me to do this, but I could set these over, and it'd probably be best to do so, but I don't know what else I can do. Can't do that. But if I were to assume instead this, oh, hold on, other way around, we would have to block even more. This would have to come out. This would be white. That's all the change that would happen. I must be missing something really obvious because this is not marked as an incredibly difficult puzzle. So I feel like I have to make a guess and then assume from there, which makes me already hate the puzzle because I have to just assume something and then hope it's right. I don't see a way not to do that. So if we start with this, these white cells all have to connect somewhere. Which one is this one going to connect with? It can't connect over here. It can't connect there or there. So it's going to connect to this one. Which means that is now settled. These as well. Where are these guys going to connect? They're not going to connect over here. It's too far away. Over here doesn't have symmetry, so they're also going to connect here. So that means up like this, right? This piece can't connect here because then it would connect there, which would require something off the edge. So I think it's going to connect down here. Like this. And then I can do it this way. And this leaves room for that piece, which is symmetrical with this. It can't have a piece here or there, so those have to be dark, which means they have to connect somewhere. It's going to connect there. Now, that's got to be light. This has to be dark, which means it can't connect here or there. So now we have this fully connected. This also has to be dark, can't connect. This piece has to connect here because it won't connect up there. All of these are still possible to connect. Like, this is working out, but it worked out because I had to start by guessing. It's not my favorite way of doing this. We can't do something like this, so we have another piece. We also can't put one there, so that also is filled. Could do this, I think. I'm not totally sure yet what we're doing there. Because it depends on what this piece is going to be. That's got to be dark, and that's got to be light. But hold on, these also have... These definitely have to be dark. Well, if this has to be dark, then so is that, which does fill these in, which means those have to be filled in. Which means those have to be filled in. Yeah, that's very unsatisfying, because, like, we had logical inferences after we made our initial assumption. But we had to make that assumption in order to make the puzzle work. Oh well. 13A, A13. Don't make dominoes. Okay. 17B. Well... If I do this, 5, 5... No, this will make dominoes. So... This won't work. Doing this lets us make this pattern. I could do it this way. Now here is where it's more like this. Oh dear. There. And then we just go around the edges. Alright. That feels like a puzzle that's good for like a tutorial on this type of stuff rather than here. But I guess it was removed because it was unnecessary. Ah, there's the rest of the puzzles. I'm going to keep doing the ones up here, I guess, today. 5, 4, 5, don't make this pattern. So this has got to come through, connect all dark cells. So we're looking at something coming through, or the other way, it depends. Don't have to connect these. In fact, you probably can't. This is going to have to go... Well, we could have the dead ends here, so we don't know. This could also be the dead end, right? Probably not. I think this one has to go through. If I move this through, there's no way to make without... Unless I did it like this. But this feels very stupid, right? Like if I did this... Yeah, see what, like this doesn't feel right at all, because now I can't connect. No, this actually might just be it. That would just be it. Weird. So again, I guessed and I just got it. Didn't feel great. Oh no. No, 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 no. There's a reason these are removed from the game. Okay, let me figure out. Okay, I can't do that. I have to do these, which means I just gotta trial and error this because this is a really difficult rule for me to understand when you start doing this. Wait, why is this acceptable to do either? What? Okay, that can't happen. That can't happen, which means that we now have to do this. That's gotta be dark. That's gotta be light. That's gotta be dark. That's gotta be light. What? This is terrible. There's a really good reason this was not put in the game. Because this is incomprehensible. Okay. So is it that its symmetry is opposite on this point? That's really bad. That's really bad. This should have not even been put in the lost grids. Okay, so this has to be white because they have to be opposite. Yeah. Why does that complete it? What? Oh, this is awful. This is awful. This is genuinely awful. Oh, no. Oh. Wait, hold on. Oh, no. What? What do I do here? Where's the piece that's not working? Oh, no. This is possibly the worst puzzle I've encountered in the entire game, and I've complained about several. First of all, this is a mechanic that hasn't been taught to us, is doing this. I cannot make hide nor tail of what I'm looking at. Genuinely, whoever thought of this idea should have been fired and this puzzle removed. That's how bad it was. They should have looked at it and said, I should not have hired you. You don't know how to make puzzles. Holy shit, that's awful. I'll do one more. Don't make this connect all dark cells. Well, then this can't be. Okay, let's look at all of these guys. We can't make big old fat squares. So none of these square shapes just by default cannot be dark. So we do have to connect all dark cells, which does mean we have to stick that out. That can't happen. That would make a square. So would that. So would that. So that's got to be there. That's got to be there, and that. We got squares here. That is required. Square. 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 That's got to come through there. Just choke point. Square. Square. So it's all white. Square. 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 That's got to come through. That's a square. Cool. This would make a square inevitable, so that's it. This is the only way to not make a square. There we go. Interesting. Cool. That was 20 minutes in this area. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go up to here. Let's grab a couple Ascension Grids. I don't want to grab too many because I also want to spend some time in the hubs clearing out the random puzzles while I have a chance. But I will at least do a couple. I'm not doing the 5-star one. I don't want to spend 45 minutes up here. Don't make this pattern. Alright, well, we do have this forced on us. So I guess this is here to prevent us from putting all of these together. Hold on, if we have 4 in this area, it's pretty easy to not put 3 in a row here, but it's not guaranteed where we're going to put stuff. All dark regions have area 3. Okay. If we put a dark cell here, we would be basically done with this. Like so, right? That's possible. It's also possible we don't do that. If we put it like this... That's fine. Well, we gotta have 2 here. So either we're in a case of, oh no, we can't do something like that. So if they aren't connected, right? If we were to do something like this, now we would have to bring it out and there would be no way. So they have to be connected. Something like this. So this is a possibility. Or the opposite. Something like this. This would complete... Well, we'd have to do something like that. I'm guessing, and I hope it's an okay guess. No. What if I did it this way? No. What if I... So if I do this, we're forced here, which is going to be bad. So it can't be these 2. Is it these 2? If I do it this way, we would have to have this be one of them. Not sure which other one. That's done. That's done. This will be complete. This will be complete. We need to have 2. This... Hold on, 2's left here. But now we have nowhere to put these. So this isn't right either. What if it's these 2? I didn't explore. Like this was forced. Yeah, that was completely forced. Now if I did these 2, I need 2 in here, so this needs to be one of them. That needs to be 1, that needs to be 1. And we're done. So those can't be it. But also this can't be it. Hold on a second. This would have to be 1. Yeah, we... What? All of them don't work. All of these don't work. But if I were to separate them, we're wrong. Well, we have an issue where they do that. Maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to focus my attention? If I did this, I'd have to make more. Yeah, they have to be together like this. That's the only way to do this. So, what? So we can't do this. We can't do this. Because now we need this piece like so. This is the closest I've been getting here, so something must be wrong. No, that was right. I didn't really care for that one. It just required too much guessing. How about you? Let's see if you don't require as much. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess we got that. Connect all darks. One symbol per light area is going to do this. All dark cells have to be connected, so they gotta come out. There you go. Only 4 there. 3. Huh. Let's see. 3 here means only 1 more in this area. 6, 3, 4, 5, 7. Only 1 white cell in this entire area. Only 1 more dark cell in all of these areas. And if it's not here, that's probably fine. Only 1 dark cell here as well. In here and in there. And here. So there's got to be 1 line that comes through. So it can't be there, and it can't be there. It could be, can't be there. It could be here. It can't be there. It could be here as well. The trouble with it being here is now we have to have all light cells there. So it has to be there. That's the only thing it can be. Which means that's that. These are done. No. Okay. What I do wrong here? So only 1 more cell can be here because we already got 1 out of 2. We've got 3 out of 4. So 1 has to be here. So I guess we can just mark these all gotta be, which means this one at least has to be dark. So either that or that is dark. Not 100% sure yet. Actually, how would I know? But yeah, we only can have 1 more in all of these spots. It can't be here. Because then... why can't it be here? I don't know why I can't do that one. If we did it this way, we'd be in trouble. So we know this one has to be a light cell. We did it here. That would cause a problem. If we did it here, we'd be in trouble there. If we did it here, that's fine. And if we did it here, that's fine. So it's one of these two. That means that... like, we can still put an additional one like this. We can still put it through. Like, what if we put it through here? That's what we'd have to do. So that's why it's not there. So it has to be this piece. Okay. We could block this piece and come down this way, like so. And then block these pieces and put it up this direction. And here, that is possible. Okay. Well, not my favorite. I don't think it's a bad puzzle, but it's just kind of for me. Let's check out some of the randomized stuff down here. There's not that much left in Lucent Waters. I mean, like, I'm 55% through, but, like, I imagine there's not a lot of puzzles available. There's a few of these. Yeah, no hidden pentats. That's kind of the stuff I want to clear out. Couple pattern grids, couple memory grids. There is a music grid. I should look for those. A few wandering echoes. A glide ring I can find and a flow orb. Should look for those as well. Or maybe some match 3s. There's a few I can look for. Yeah. Is that a... Yep. That's one of them wandering echoes. Where are we going? What are you? Stop it. No, no, thank you. Okay, none of that can connect. So there's one more Wandering Echo, I think, today, right? There were 2 available? No, there are 3 available to me. I don't think those will be too hard to find. The thing with Wandering Echoes is you gotta follow the path, but finding them initially usually isn't too difficult. Okay, get the 1s out. This 2 is done. This 1 is done. That 2 is done. That 3 is done. Oops, 3 is done. Let's see, 2 is done. This 3, that 2. Excellent. That's one of the glide rings, but it's one I've already done. Aha. Puzzle radar. I will actually wait until I've solved a few puzzles on my own, just to clear them out so there's less sort of garbage. I wonder if that connects to that. Yay! There's a Wandering Echo I found on my... all by myself on my lonesome or whatever. And the other one is right there. I saw it. Last one for the day. Okay. Grab a couple sightseers as well. We're looking out this way? No, where's the blue? Looking that way through here. I need to be more this way? Yeah. At least I don't have any more sightseers today. No, wait, hold on. Not sorry, it's not sightseers. Wandering Echoes today. Let's grab the other sightseer I saw here. I think there were plenty of these I can get today. But I tend not to get a lot of them in one area in a day. There's like 3 or 4 is kind of the best case scenario. What? There. Don't make that pattern. Light regions have area 4. Okay. Alright, okay. I see. Alright. Power one sightseers, by the way. Yeah, there's like 6 left, it's fine. So I got all these today. So I'm looking for 1 each of those. I'm looking for music grid and then 2 each of these. Do I want to touch the puzzle radar yet? I don't know. Where is the red? You. Oh, hold on. Something there. So the thing I'm noticing about like hidden rings and arches in particular is that as fun as it is to go and sort of find them, it's not something I've ever really gone looking for. Like, I've used the puzzle radar, but I've never done this thing of I'm going to go exploring specifically for these, because I'm tripping over them. It's more like hunting for these. Huh. Hard to say. Anyway, so the puzzle radar is down here somewhere. Where is it? There. Do I want to use that right now? I feel like... yeah, I might as well. Might as well just grab it and see what I can get. So I'm looking for particular types. That's okay. There's a pattern grid there. I think that's pattern grid. Is there anything else I can at least see on my radar? These are regular logic grids. There's the glide rings. There's a pattern grid as well. So there must be a memory grid behind me. So I'm going to start... Oof. It's a bit of a trek, but I've got a few of the things I'm looking for. So I'm going to start here. And, okay, we're going to make a square around the spots that have the dark cells. That's what it is. Alright. There's the other pattern grid. Or, I mean, sorry, that's a memory grid one. Okay. Is it just this? It is just that. Now, let's go back, get the glide rings and the memory grid that's over here. Is that this? No, it is not. Is that this one? No. Alright, memory grid. Oh, no. Okay, it's just fast. It's fine. Like, the thing with memory grid is that there is, like, that bonus ability in the mastery thing of, like, or the ability to get more points if you solve them with only looking at it once, but I cannot imagine a world in which anyone looks at that once and then solves it. Like, it just seems like it wasn't really thought through. Hold on. That is going to connect down here? Yeah. Okay. Seems like that's the only way to make 9 here. Anything else touches these guys. Corner rule. 6 has got some spaces it can go. Is there any way... This is a dark cell? No. That's a light cell. It's going to block that off. Anyway, that's a dark cell? No. That's a light cell. There. I'm going to connect to that. This being a light cell is going to make the 5 impossible. So that's the 5. That's that. Excellent. Is there any way... This is a light cell. That's probably fine. Like, I can do this. No, I can't. If this is a light cell, I'm in trouble. So that's a dark cell. Is there any way that's a dark cell? No. That's a light cell connected to the 6. Which means if this is a light cell, we are in trouble. So that's a dark cell. If this is a dark cell, we can still sort of make it. No, we can't. It's got to be a light cell connected to this. In fact, it's probably the safest bet here. We're just going to assume that. Alright, glide ring is up this way. Can't see. Excellent. That's everything today. There's 3 left in this area entirely. None of these match each other. That's cool. Whatever. Okay. I'm going to keep looking for... Now there's a flow orbs I can find. There is a pattern grid. There's still a music grid to find. And I guess some of these I can look for. Actually, not a lot of matchboxes I can find, so they seem to all be in this area. That must be a different symbol than this. That's already been solved. Another puzzle radar would be nice. I believe there's 2... Oh! The music grid's right here. There's 2 puzzle radars every time I load into Lucent Falls, so... That was a guess. I originally was going to put this note on the bottom because of how far apart they were, like, diatonically, but then I heard the lower note, so that's the only reason I knew. That's how it was. Okay. Ah, I see what we're doing here. So we need this piece there. And then this one here was... Wasn't it like the middle of the stream there's a piece? Oh, no, no, it's just connected to this. Don't make squares of any kind and connect all dark cells. Awesome. So no squares of that either. No squares. Let's see. That'd be a square, so we do have to go up through here. And that way. This way. If I did this, we'd be in trouble, so this is how we're going to make this happen. Here we go. Those squares. Alright, that's alright. Matchbox-wise, I feel like I've done a lot of the ones available today. Yeah, there's still 10 left, but considering there's usually like 8 billion matchboxes, we're fine with that. Okay, so I'm still looking for something like a florb. Okay, we're looking up. Probably this direction from like down here. Maybe from inside. Let's... Is there a landmark I can use? Seems to be maybe up through here somewhere. I think I have to be on this side. Then I'd be all the way over here. Is it like this piece? No, because then it might be this one I'm looking up at? Yeah, I'm looking up at this piece. Okay. Anyway, floor would be a nice thing to clear. Pattern grid would be a nice thing to clear. As well as things like morphic fractals, just find a few more of those. All dark regions of area 4 and light regions of area 4. Alright. What else do I know about this? Could be this, but also could be that. Or that. If this were a light cell, we'd have that. If this were a dark cell, that would be a dark cell. If this is a light cell, this has to be a dark cell. So no matter what, that's a dark cell. The reason being is if this is a light cell, there's no way. So this has to be a dark cell. If this is a dark cell, we have light like that. If this is light, we have that. So these have to be light cells. Yeah. So we have another thing like this. We cannot connect these. There we go. Neat. I like the logical progression of that puzzle. It wasn't like handed to me where every single move was the one and only move, but at the same time I did not need to make any guesses. Okay. Well, if this were a light cell, we would have this issue. So that's got to be a dark cell, no matter what. Oh, is that, I guess, the puzzle. Okay. Would love to have solved a full puzzle. Thank you. Is it just this? Okay. Just kind of one of those you see with your third eye. Ah, morphic fractal. Okay, let's make it look stupid. How many of those do I have to deal with today? There's 2 more. I mean, I'd love to just have them done. Not to have them showing up anymore in my mentions. That's got to be there, so that 3 is complete. That's got to be there. That has to connect. This could connect. Not sure yet. That's going to be there. Okay, next step. That's got to be a dark cell. That's going to be a light cell, so is that. That's going to be a light cell. Neat, neat, neat. Okay, how long do I want to spend looking for that last thing? Ah! There we go. It's puzzle radar. Actually, before I do that, once again, I'm just going to check this area on my own. Because if I don't see anything here, I know not to bother running up this way. Right? That seems like a logical thing to do. Because otherwise I have to look, you know, at least look in this direction. So logic grids are nice, and I'll do them. Not what I'm looking for, specifically. Okay, connect all dark cells. There's no reason not to just do this. Why would I not do that either? Why would I not do this? And then why would I not do this? Wait, I've done that one. Where's another grid? There it is. Yeah, no pattern grid I can see immediately, and no flow orb. Well, that's that. That's that. This has to come down. If the F has to go around the D, might as well make it work this way. Okay. Just double check. We got no flow orbs back here. We've got no pattern grids back here. Those are the two main things I want to focus on in this area. Okay, I'm going to grab this and then make a run for it. Okay, flow orb. Okay, I've got a couple morphic fractals that way. I don't even see, like, the symbols for these things. There's, like, nothing here. I've solved everything in this area. What? I don't see it. There's a glide ring, so we're definitely talking about Serene Deluge there. It's not this direction. Ah, there's the pattern grid. What? Oh, take these white pieces, move them down, then move them down one more time. So we're going to move everything down every time. Right? Oops, hold on. This is not what it would be. We'll do this. Alright, then there were a couple morphic fractals this way. Might as well grab them since I know they're here. It won't be all of the morphic fractals in this area. There will still be one left I haven't found, but that's okay. So they're both somewhere around here. So this is one of them. How do I make this more like... Okay, this is irritating. There we go. And there's probably one. Would it be more in this area or the other way? Since I didn't really. look for a long time. I just noticed there were two up in this direction. So it's not that one. Was it? Was the other one further that way or closer to me? That's the question. I wonder where the flow orb would be. Ah, there it is. It was closer. Yeah, sure, whatever. It is odd that the flow orb would be hard to find, considering they're usually on the easier side because they have to take up large areas. And the big old blue balls are hard to miss. That's going to be inside here. Just have to get a good angle on it. So is it from here? Or is it... I've got to have a big old rock in front of me. Maybe this rock. Didn't really check this corner. Maybe it's that. Maybe that counts as Lucent Waters. We shall see. 8 flow orbs. What if I start here, go here? Are you kidding me on the timing? Alright, let's see if backwards also works. There we go. That doesn't count. It does! It does! That was a Lucent Waters one. Even though I am technically in Autumn Falls. Nice! I got everything I needed in this area. Actually, speaking of clearing out, since there was a new glide rings here, is there perhaps... There is a glide rings. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm getting close to the hour mark on this, but I'm going to get those glide rings. So I'm going to go into Verdant Glen, and I'm going to see if I can find it. So, from what I remember looking at the graph we're talking about, there are 2 somewhere in that area, and then there's 1 somewhere in that direction. So let's get closer here. Rings. There it is. That way. Look at that. We're going to get another one. Gosh, I cannot imagine trying to 100% this without the save stats file. And this particular mod. I cannot imagine trying to do that. That would be such a fucking nightmare. Alright, while I'm here, is there any other of these types? So the other flow orb isn't ready. Those I'm not as worried about because I'm not as close to completing them. Not as worried about that right now. Memory grid, there's not anything available. There's not a hidden pentat available. There is a sightseer, though, I can get. Is that worth it in the next couple of minutes? I don't think so. Don't think it's quite worth it. I think I should focus on a different area in another video. Ah! Wandering Echoes and Serene Deluge. Great. Perfect. I think instead I will move towards a new area after this rather than Verdant Glen. I feel like there's not as much I can find. I'm just doing a last minute check through. I've done this one before. I have not done this one before. Don't see any reason not to do that. Or that. Or that. Actually, how many match 3s were there here today? Oh, there's only one more. I'm not going to look for that one more. Just, I'm getting close on the match 3s. So I'll stop here. And when I come back, I don't know what I'll do after that. I'll be looking for ooh, another one of those. Maybe I'll grab that. And I'll go specifically to... Well, that would have been too nice if it was that. And I'll go specifically into Autumn Falls and look for puzzle types I don't know much about. But I'll take care of that at another time. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Key of W, you've been whoever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.